Okay, so good afternoon everyone. Yung topic natin for today is friction. So as a brief introduction, no, in the preceding chapters, it was assumed that the surfaces in contact were either frictionless, or which means surfaces could move freely with respect to each other, or rough, or tangential forces prevent relative motion between surfaces. So in real life po kasi no, meron tayo dapat kino-consider na friction. So ano naman si friction? Si friction po is no yung ating resisting forces, yung force na nagre-resist nung motion natin. So for example, if walang friction, for example, naglalaro tayo ng billiards. If wala friction na available, pag once natamaan ng cue ball natin no yung ibang bola, is hindi titigil yung cue ball natin kahit anong mangyari. So tuloy-tuloy lang yung movement natin. Actually, there is no perfectly frictionless surface exists. For two forces in contact, for two surfaces in contact, tangential forces or called friction forces will develop if one attempts to move one relative to the other. However, the friction forces are limited in a magnitude and will not prevent motion if sufficiently large forces are applied. The distinction between frictionless and rough is therefore a matter of degree. So there are two types of friction, a dry or column friction and a fluid friction. Fluid friction applies to lubricated mechanism. The present discussion, itong discussion natin no, is limited lamang no, to dry friction, which means non-lubricated surfaces. So friction no, is defined as the contact resistance exerted by one body upon a second body when the second body moves or tends to move past the first body. So friction is the retarding force always acting opposite to the motion or tendency to move. So for example, no, if meron tayong force na moving towards right, normally yung friction forces natin na magiging movement naman niya is to left kasi opposite direction siya dapat palagi no, nung force applied natin. So friction of for frictional force denoted by F sub F is equals to mu times N. Where yung mu natin, no, again, nagva-vary yan. Kasi dito pwede siya mu S, mu K, depende kung anong friction yung pinag-uusapan natin. Where mu is yung ating coefficient of friction and N is yung ating normal force na to take, lagi po natin tandaan, no, normal force is always perpendicular to the line of action. So, types of friction. So, meron po tayo kanina, again, banggit na siya, no, dry friction. So, si dry friction occurs when unlubricated surface of two solids are in contact under a condition of sliding or tendency to slide. A friction force tangent to the surface of contact occurs both during the interval leading up to impending slippage and while slippage takes place. The direction of this friction force always opposes the motion or impeding motion. This type of friction is always called the Coulomb friction. Then next po is meron tayong tinatawag na Coulomb friction. So Coulomb friction naman po occurs when the adjacent layers of fluid or gas are moving at different velocity. Then lastly is internal friction. It occurs in all solid materials which are subjected to a cyclical loading. For highly inelastic material, the recovery from the deformation occurs with a very little loss of energy due to internal friction. Case po no, nung static friction, meron po tayong tatlong cases na kino-consider. So una po no is yung frictional force natin is less than to the maximum force na allowed, no. So ibig sabihin, body is in static equilibrium, which means na condition natin ng yung body natin is purely at rest. Then if yung frictional force natin is equal to the maximum force, body is in limiting equilibrium condition, which means impending motion or pa-start pa lang yung motion natin. Then, ibig sabihin, valid po no yung formula natin na for the maximum force is equals to mu or the coefficient of static friction times the normal force times yung force natin. Then, kapag naman po no yung frictional force natin is greater than the maximum force, body is in motion. Which means no F is equals to the the dynamic coefficient of equilibrium. O kaya naman po no is equal to uh, the dynamic coefficient of friction multiplied the normal force. So for limiting friction naman po, sabi dito, the condition of the impending motion is known to exist. Pag sinabi nating impending motion po, no, again, is pasimula pa lang yung motion or yung movement natin. Here, a body in which is in equilibrium is on the verge of slipping, which means the body is in a limiting equilibrium condition. It is the maximum value of friction force that the surface can exert on the block and is designated by F max. So F max natin no, normally is ang formula natin sa kanya is the product of the normal force and the coefficient of static friction. For kinetic friction naman po, no, the condition of a relative motion is known to exist between the contacting surface. So the body is in motion. So kapag kinetic friction is nagte-take place po, no, so the kinetic frictional force is equal to the dynamic coefficient or the kinetic coefficient of friction multiplied by n is a valid equation. Loss of dry friction. So kapag again po no, limited lang po yung discussion natin no for this topic for dry friction. So the dry friction loss are exemplified by the experiment below. As shown in the picture, weight block W is positioned on the horizontal plane surface. The force acting on the block are its weight W and surface reaction. Since wala po tayong ibang component po dito no na present, horizontal component, so ibig sabihin wala tayong motion kasi si normal force, ang tendency po lagi ni normal force no is to resist yung weight na ina-apply natin. Next naman po no is given po tayo ng block with a load or with a weight of W. Then present na po dito no yung ating normal force. Then meron tayong force na nag-push no doon sa block natin towards right. So as example po no or as nabanggit kanina as defined, so si frictional force po no normally is nandyan para i-resist yung motion natin. If yung force P natin no is ang tendency is to move our block to the right, therefore frictional force direction naman po natin no is going to the left naman. Then, sabi po dito, no, experimental evidence show that the static friction force maximum value F sub S is proportional to the normal variable n of the surface reaction, where mu s po natin is the coefficient of static friction. Then, yung magnitude naman po ng the kinetic frictional force is ang ginagamit sa formula natin is yung coefficient of kinetic friction. Mu sub s and mu sub k friction coefficient are not dependent on the area of the contact surface. Ito pong coefficient of static friction natin, no, kung hindi siya given doon sa problem, is masasolve natin siya using yung mga data na meron tayo. Then, yung coefficient po natin do for the kinetic friction is commonly known is equal or approximately equal to the 0.75 of the coefficient of static friction. Ngayon naman po, no, ang naka-flash sa screen ninyo is ito yung coefficient of static friction natin no, for dry surfaces. So nandito po no, ito ay commonly static friction range niya no is present dito. So again po no, if hindi ibinigay sa problem yung ano natin, coefficient of friction, possible po is pwede natin siya makuha by solving no or analyzing yung mga parameters na given sa problem natin. So from dun based po no sa definition natin kanina ng friction natin, meron po tayong apat na different situation. So una po no, the force applied to the body appear not to move it along the contact surface. So una po no example ito, given tayo ng block na may weight na W. So ang force P natin po no is naka-place siya doon sa same with the direction of the normal force natin. So tendency po no, wala po tayong frictional force na present dito. Then yung normal force natin no is masosolve lang natin as the sum of our applied force and yung weight natin. Next naman po no, yung force natin is applied in an angle. Naka-angle po yung force natin. So sabi dito, the force applied tend to move the body along the contact surface but are not strong enough to set it in motion. So the friction force F that has evolved can be found of solving the body's equation of balance since there is no proof that the force F has reached its maximum value. Then F sub m is equal to mu times n equation cannot be used to calculate the force of the friction. Kasi wala po tayong enough details na nagsasabi na meron tayong motion dito. Then to solve for the friction coefficient of our static yung coefficient na, or yung frictional force natin, pwede tayong gumamit yan ng summation lang ng x components natin. So i-add lang natin yung mga x components dito wherein dito sa problem we have P sub S or yung x component nung force P natin. Then kapag yung force F naman natin no dapat daw is mas mababa siya doon sa yung F na makukuha natin is mas mababa doon sa makukuha natin na frictional force. Kasi nga po wala tayong motion dito sa figure natin. Then next naman po no, if magkakaroon na tayo ng motion, so sabi dito the force applied are such that the body is about to only slip. We say here that there is an impending motion. The friction force F has reached its full value F sub m and balances the applied forces along the natural force or normal force N. You can use both the equilibrium equations and the equation F sub m is equals to mu S sub n. We also take note that the force of friction has a sense of opposition to the imminent motion. So for example po dito sinabi na magkakaroon tayo ng motion. So therefore, yung frictional force sub m natin, again is summation lang po yan nung ano natin, forces along x. Then si frictional force naman po natin again is equal siya doon sa normal force multiplied by the coefficient of static friction. And yung normal force naman po natin no is equal lang siya doon sa summation ng weight natin and y component nung force P natin. Then last case po natin no, under the motion of the applied forces, the body slips and equilibrium equation can no longer apply. However, F is now equal to the kinetic frictional force natin. And then, ang gagamitin na natin dito is yung equation natin for kinetic friction. So next po no, pwede natin kasing i-represent no yung normal force natin and yung frictional force F natin no using yung resultant force natin. So kung ganun po yung mangyayari no dun sa ano natin, ito yung formula na pwede nating magamit. Kasi 'di ba? Again, if given ka ng vertical force and y component ng force natin, therefore, pwede natin siyang i-represent no as a value of our resultant. If kung ganun po yung gagawin natin no, Para makuha yung angle po na yon, we will be simply using yung formula natin. So, tangent phi is equal to yung frictional force natin divided by the normal force. Pero yung frictional force natin, no, yung frictional force natin can be represented as the coefficient of the coefficient of static friction multiplied by the normal force. So present si normal force, no, sa numerator and denominator, so pwede silang i-cancel out. So therefore, tangent phi s is equals to the coefficient of static friction. Ganon din po yung case, no, pagdating naman kay kinetic friction. Then we can simply solve for the angle, no, using yung arctangent function natin. So ito po, no, yung mga possible problems na pwede natin ma-encounter pagdating kay dry friction. Una, all applied forces are known. Coefficient of static friction is known. Determine whether the body will remain at rest or slide. Yung other question naman, other case naman natin, no, lahat ng forces ay alam natin. And then yung motion natin is pasimula pa lang, pinapahanap yung coefficient ni dynamic friction or ni static friction. O kaya naman, coefficient of static friction is known. Pasimula yung motion natin. Pinapahanap, no, yung magnitude or direction ng applied forces natin. Okay. So dito po, no, meron tayo example para ma-apply yung concept discussed earlier. So a 400-pound block is resting on a rough material surface for which the coefficient of friction is 0.4. Determine the force P required to cause motion to impend if applied to the block A horizontally or B downward at 30 degrees with the horizontal. So, ito po, no, yung given block natin. Then, ang pinapahanap po, no, is yung value ng force P natin if horizontal ko siya i-apply. And P is equal to kung ano yung value ng P natin kapag downwards at 30 degrees with the horizontal. First po, no, kailangan nating hanapin muna yung value ng normal force natin. Bakit? Kasi 'di ba, again, no, applicable pa naman dito si equation of equilibrium natin. Kaya lang alam natin na si frictional force F is equal to the coefficient of friction natin multiplied by the normal force. So mag-summation of forces vertical muna tayo, no? So summation of forces vertical is equal to 0. Normal force minus weight is equal to 0. Therefore, normal force is equal to 400 pounds. Then next, the frictional force is equals to the coefficient of friction multiplied by the normal force. For this case is 0.4 times 400 pounds is equal to 160 pounds. So, summation of forces horizontal tayo equals to 0. So, ang present lang na parameter sa atin is force P and yung force F natin sa x-axis. So, therefore, we have P minus F is equals to 0. Therefore, yung P natin and frictional force natin is equal to 160 pounds. So, next naman po, no, ang kaibahan, apply natin ngayon, no, or solve natin yung second case natin na mayroon po tayong in-apply na force P with an angle of 30 degrees, no, with the horizontal. So, ngayon po, no, same method of solution yung gagawin natin. Ang kaibahan lang is madadagdagan lang, no, yung ating mga horizontal and vertical components. So, first, una po natin gawin, no, is summation of forces vertical. So, normal force is equals to 400 pounds minus P sine 30. So, bakit P sine 30? Kasi yun yung vertical component nung force P natin. So, normal force is equals to 400 pounds plus sine 30. P sine 30. Ngayon po, no, si force P, hindi natin siya alam, no, yung value niya. Then, simplify lang po natin. N is equals to 400 pounds plus 0.05 P. Ito yung tatawagin natin na equation 1. Kasi kahit anong gawin natin, is hindi na natin yan masisimplify pa. Next, isolve naman natin yung coefficient, yung frictional force natin. Alam natin na ang formula natin for frictional force is equals to mu, or the coefficient of friction, multiplied by the normal force. So we have 0.4 times 400 pounds plus 0.5 P. So yung frictional force po natin is equals to 160 pounds plus 0.2 P. Ito naman yung ating equation 2. Next is summation of forces, horizontal naman tayo. So again, no, ang horizontal component lang na meron tayo dito is yung frictional force F. And then yung x component naman ni force P. So since going to left, si force F, frictional force F, ang ano po natin dito ay negative siya. Then plus the x component, since ito ay going right, kaya siya naging positive. So negative F plus P cosine 30 is equals to 0. Then, solving for F, pwede na nating ma-solve si F, no? So, force F is equals to square root of 3 over 2 P. Saan nanggaling si square root of 3 over 2? Yan po is yung cosine 30, no, kapag in-input ninyo sa calculators ninyo. Then, equate lang natin, no, sabi dito, force F, nakuha natin yung F dito using the summation of forces horizontal. Then, meron din tayong force F, no, dito kay sa ano natin, equation 2. So, kung pareho silang force F, no, pwede natin silang equate dun sa isa't isa. So, square root of 3 over 2 P is equals to 160 pounds plus 0.2 P. Pagsamahin natin nun dun sa isang side yung equation natin. So, we have square root of 3 over 2P minus 0.02 P minus 160 pounds is equals to 0. Lipat natin, no, yung unknown natin dito sa kabila, or yung known values natin, isolate. We have 0.666 P is equal to 160 pounds. Then solve for P. Divide both sides by 0.666. We have 160 pounds divided by 0.666. Therefore, we can solve for P na equal sa 240.2310769 pounds. Paano naman po, no, if ganito na yung maging scenario natin? Meron ng inclination yung figure natin. If meron ng inclination yung figure natin, therefore, kailangan na natin dito mag-rotate no axis natin. So, the 2,225 Newton block is shown in the figure, is in contact with 45 degrees in the incline. The coefficient of static friction is 0.25. Compute the value of the horizontal force P necessary to A. Start the block up in the incline, or B. Prevent motion down the incline. And for C naman, no, if P is equals to 1780 newtons, what is the amount and the direction of the frictional force? So, first na-identify natin yung given natin. Then, next is ano yung pinapahanap. Una, A is ano yung force P natin na para ma-start or mag-impend ng motion paakyat doon sa ating inclination natin. And B, para naman ma-prevent, no, yung motion pababa doon sa incline natin. And then, ano daw yung value ni frictional force, no? Or ano yung value ng friction force natin if yung force P natin is equal to 1780 newtons. So dito po na mapapansin nyo, naka-incline na yung figure natin. So therefore, magro-rotate po tayo ng axis natin dito. As compare kanina, no, kung yung force lang na in-apply natin yung naka-incline, walang problema. Ngayon dito, no, yung surface, yung contact surface na natin, yung merong inclination, Kaya kailangan natin mag-rotate ng axis. Yun po, no? Given tayo ng block na in contact no dun sa ating surface with 45 degrees of inclination. So, ang gagawin natin dito or magiging approach natin no, is to rotate yung axis natin. So, syempre, kailangan mo natin i-drawing no, yung free body diagram natin. So, ganito yung magiging technique natin. No? Mag-drawing muna tayo ng ating Cartesian coordinate system. So, we have the x and y axis natin dito. Ngayon, we have force P na going to the right. So, pwede ko na lang siyang ilagay dito. Then, yung weight po natin, no, tatandaan natin, ang weight natin or yung force na or yung weight ng block natin is 2,225 Newton. So, ito po yung force or yung weight natin. Then, ito yung ating force P. Ngayon, ang normal force po natin, no, kailangan natin tandaan is palaging perpendicular to doon sa ating contact, plane of contact natin. So, nasan ba yung contact plane natin dyan? Makikita nyo dito na meron tayong 45 degrees. So, therefore, ito, extend lang natin siya dito. Wait lang, burahin natin. So, again, no, yung contact plane natin or isan dito po siya, 45 degrees yung angle niya. Ngayon, yung normal force po natin no, is perpendicular doon sa ating plane of contact. So, pag sinabi nating perpendicular, yun po ay 90 degrees. So, ngayon, given tayo dito ng angle na 45 degrees. Then, ang angle natin dito, no, therefore, is ilan to? So, pag sinabi natin perpendicular, dapat nagpo-form sila ng angle na 90 degrees. So, therefore, ito ay 45 degrees. Then, dito, yung quadrant 4 natin, alam natin na bawat quadrant is 90 degrees. Ito ay 45 degrees din. Ngayon, ito yung ating normal force. Then, nasaan yung frictional force natin? Saan natin ilalagay yung frictional force natin? Yung frictional force natin no, is along doon sa axis natin, di ba? Or naka-line up siya doon sa axis natin. So, kung naka-line up siya doon sa axis natin, kung ang force P natin is moving towards right, so dapat ang frictional force naman natin ay going to the left. So, ngayon, para po mas madali, no, kasi ilan yung unknown value natin dito? Unknown si P, unknown si si force F, si frictional force F, then unknown din yung normal force natin. So, para po, no, mas madali, kailangan nating i-rotate yung axis natin. Kailangan, yung maging reference axis natin dito, no, yung contact plane, yung maging x-axis natin. So, ilang degrees yung i-rotate? Kasi, di ba, ang axis natin before tayo mag-rotate is ito. Ito yung y natin. Ito yung x-axis. Ang goal natin, no, kaya tayo nagro-rotate is para mas ma-simplify yung solution. And, ang gusto natin is maging reference axis na natin tong contact plane. So, ngayon, ilang degrees yung i-rotate ko para doon sa ano natin. So, kung i-rotate ko siya, no, para maging ito mapunta dito or yung maging x-axis natin is itong contact plane natin dito. So, ang kailangan kong i-rotate is 45 degrees. Bakit? Kasi 'di ba, ilan ang ano niya dito? 45 degrees clockwise kasi meron tayo ditong angle 45 na gusto nating ma-overcome. So, kapag nag-rotate tayo ng 45 degrees clockwise, ano mangyayari? Itong contact plane natin will line up dito sa x-axis natin, yung original Cartesian plane natin. Then, yung normal force natin is magla-line up dito sa original axis ng y natin. Then, yung force F natin is magla-line up na siya dito sa new x-axis natin. So, wala na tayo angle dito. Then, ang magkakaroon na lang ng angle dito no, is dalawa na lang. Ito yung weight natin and yung force P. Kasi di ba si force P perfectly aligned siya dito. Ano mangyayari? Lilipat siya dito. Nandito ngayon yung force P natin. Then si W naman, magro-rotate tayo dito. Ang mangyayari, magkakaroon siya ng angle na 45 degrees with respect dito sa ating y-axis. Kaya po naging ganito yung ating final na free body diagram for this figure. Ayun po. Ngayon, ang naging axis na natin dito, makikita nyo dito, ito na yung x-axis natin. Then, ito yung y-axis. So, yung unang pinapahanap sa atin, just to start, yung block natin na umangat. So, kapag gusto natin siyang umangat, yun yung consideration natin kanina. So, dapat ang direction nga nung block natin is tinutulak pataas yung natin. Therefore, frictional force is going down. Ngayon, ang gawin na natin is solve muna tayo. Pwede na tayo mag-solve dun sa mga unknown force. So, summation of forces along y is equal to 0. Normal force minus 2,225 cosine 45. So, ito po is yung x component nung or y component nung nung weight natin. So, again, bakit natin kailangan yung natin, no? Paano siya naging y component? Kasi 'di ba ito yung given na side natin, ito yung magiging hypotenuse natin. So anong tawag po natin sa side natin dito? Ang kailangan natin is yung adjacent side. So kung given ka ng adjacent side and hypotenuse, therefore cosine function po siya. Then next is yung y component naman nung force P natin. So ang nangyari po since going down siya, kaya rin siya negative dito. So pwede na nating ma-solve to simplify, so cosine 45 is square root of 2 over 2. Makikita lang dito is sinubstitute na natin siya into decimal, no? Pero pwede nyo rin naman siyang iwan as square root of 2 over 2. So n minus 1573.313 Newton minus 0.707 P is equal to 0. So to simplify, we have n is equals to 1573.313 Newtons plus 0.707p. Ang ginawa lang po is i-transpose sila doon sa kabilang side. And kahit anong manipulate po natin dito is hindi natin masasolve yung force P natin. Then next, solve naman natin yung frictional force natin using yung formula natin na the coefficient of static friction multiplied by n. So, given tayo ng coefficient of friction na 20.25, substitute natin yung n na parameter natin dito, yung value ng n natin. Then, simplifying, we have f is equals to 393.328 plus 0.1768p. Ito naman po yung equation 2 natin. So, yun na po ang gagawin natin dito is gahanap tayo ng equations na pwede nating magamit para may masolve tayong value. Kagaya po sa previous example natin. Ngayon, tapos na tayo sa summation of forces y. Summation of forces x naman tayo. So again, x component po ng mga given sa atin. So ang may x component sa atin is yung weight and then yung force P natin. Ngayon, going towards right siya. Kaya po ang nangyari is siya ay positive. So, P cosine 45. Then, kahit negative si force F, kasi po siya ay going left. Then, yung y component yung y component naman po, or yung, paano siya naging sign dito para dun sa, natin. Kasi ang hinahanap natin ngayon dyan is yung x component nitong force P natin. Kaya lang, para makuha yung x component, is sign function yung kailangan natin gamitin. Kasi 'di ba anong tawag dito nung kanina doon kung matatandaan niyo doon sa nag-rotate sa tayo, ito na yung hinahanap natin diyan, ito. Itong component po na to yung hinahanap natin. So given ka ng hypotenuse, ito ay opposite side. So to solve for the hinahanap na side, ang gagamitin natin doon is sign function. Then next, so substitute lang natin. 0.707P is equals to F plus 1573.313 newtons. Ito naman yung ating tatawaging equation 3. Then, ang next na po dyan no, na pwede natin gawin is substitute natin no, yung force F natin dito. O kaya naman, pwede ang gawin natin, pwede naman natin i-substitute no, yung value ng ay hindi pala pwede no kasi wala normal force na no dito. So ang magiging approach lang natin is i-substitute yung force F natin. So substitute equation 2 to equation 3. Correction po no, ito ay equation 3. So 0.707P is equals to 393.328 Newton plus 1.1768P plus 1573.313 newtons. Pagsamahin lang po natin no, yung mga knowns and unknowns parameter natin. So lipat lang natin lahat ng parameter na may P dito sa kabilang side. Then pwede natin i-simplify yung hindi naman naka-variable. So 0.707P minus 0.1768P is equal to 1966.693 Newton. Then, simplifying yung P natin, no, we have 0.5302P is equal to 1966.693 Newton. Divide both sides by 0.5302. Therefore, ang value ng P natin, force P natin, no, for the first case or letter A is 3709.342 newtons. Then next is consider natin yung next case naman. So sabi dito, just prevent the motion down the incline. So ang gusto natin dito mangyari no is labanan yung motion nung pababa doon sa incline natin. Ano daw po yung frictional force na hinahanap? So dito po natandaan natin, present si force P para lang i-prevent yung block natin na mag-slide pababa doon sa incline natin. Therefore, force P is not pushing the block upwards. It simply supports the block not to slide down. Therefore, the total force that prevents the block from sliding ng plane natin is yung sum ng components ng P natin na parallel doon sa incline and yung frictional force natin. Ano ngayon yung magiging direction ni frictional force natin? So kung ang gusto nating labanan dito is yung pag-slide pababa ni frictional force, therefore, yung direction natin dito ay going up siya. Then, same ano po no doon sa pag-drawing ng figure natin kanina ng free body diagram, kaibahan lang po doon is yung magiging direction ng frictional force natin. Kaya po makikita nyo, ganito yung free body diagram natin. Ang kaibahan lang, simply no, yung force F natin is yung direction niya. Dito po no sa friction, unlike doon sa previous ano natin na pag mali yung assumption natin no is hindi siya nagmamatter kasi nag-i-indicate lang siya ng direction. Pero dito sa friction no, kapag hindi natin na-consider yung direction ng frictional force, therefore ang mangyayari is maiiba yung makukuha natin na answers. So, same pa rin po yung magiging methods natin dito, yung approach natin dito, kagaya nung sa kanina, first case. Kaya lang is, naiba lang talaga yung sense of direction ni force F. So, ngayon, summation of force along y equals to 0. N minus 2225 cosine 40 n cosine 45 minus p sine 45 equals to 0. So, n minus 1573.313 Newton minus 7.07P equals to 0. Then, simplify lang natin no, yung equation 1 natin. 1573.313 Newton plus 0.707P. Then, kunin natin yung frictional force F natin. F is equals to mu times the normal force. So, F natin is 393.328 plus 0.1768P. Ito naman po yung equation 2. The next step is using summation of forces horizontal. Dito na po nagkaiba, no, yung direction nung ano natin is naging positive na yung frictional force natin. So to simplify, we have 0.707p is equal to negative F plus 1573.313 Newton. So nangyari lang po dito, transpose natin sa kabilang side yung force F and yung negative 2225 sine 45 natin. Then substitute lang natin, no, equation 2 to equation 3. So 0.707p is equal to negative dito sa quantity natin na to plus 1573 newtons. So 0.707p ang nangyari, distribute natin yung negative. We have negative 393 newton minus 0.1768p plus 1573.313 newton. So 0.707p, lipat po natin ito since pareha silang may p parameter, lipat natin. So magiging from negative magiging positive siya. Kaya dito is plus 0.1768p is equals to 1179.985 newton. So 0.8838p is equals to 1179.985 newton. Therefore, yung p natin, no, is divide both sides by 0.8838. P is equals to 1335.127 Newton. So, nakuha na po natin yung pangalawang hinahanap. Move naman tayo doon sa pangatlo pong pinapahanap sa atin sa sample problem. So, sabi dito, no, if force P is equals to 1,780 Newton, pinapahanap sa atin, no, yung amount and direction ng friction force natin. So, kapag yung x component natin ni P is magiging equal, no, doon sa x component ng weight natin, ibig sabihin wala tayong friction doon sa block natin kasi wala tayong motion kapag ganon. Pero kapag yung x component naman ni P is mas malaki doon sa mas malaki po, no, doon sa x component ng weight natin, yung direction ng friction natin ang mangyayari naman is pababa siya. Bakit? Bakit siya magiging pababa? Kasi tutulungan ng friction force natin yung x component ng weight natin na mabalance yung force ng x component ng force P natin. Pero kapag yung force P naman natin, no, is less than or mas maliit doon sa ating weight, yung friction natin is magiging direction naman niya is upward. Para naman tulungan, no, yung x component ng force P natin na mabalance yung weight natin. Dito sa problem natin, no, is hindi magagamit yung maximum value ng friction natin doon sa system. Kasi 'di ba, for example, kunin natin yung value ni x component ng weight natin. Again, no, same free body diagram po yung gagamitin natin dyan. So, x component is 1573.313 newtons and the x component ng force P natin, no, kapag 1780 P natin, 1780 yung P natin, force P is 1258.65 newton. So, ano bang scenario yung mag-a-apply dito? Ano bang di ba mas malaki po yung value ng mas malaki yung value ng ating x component ng weight natin as compared doon sa x component ng force P natin. So ang mangyayari lang po dito, no, is tutulungan lang nung yung direction ng force P natin ngayon is magiging upward siya. Bakit siya magiging upward? Tutulungan niya lang, no, yung x component nung force P natin na i-balance yung x component ng weight natin. So, if yung weight natin is mas malaki kay px, thus yung direction natin is upward ng frictional force natin. And yun na po yung gagamitin natin dito na parameter, no, or sense of direction to solving. So summation of force along x equals to 0. So F plus Px minus Wx is equals to 0. F plus 1258.65 Newton minus 1573.313 Newton is equals to 0. Therefore, force F natin is equal to 314.663 newtons. Next example po natin, meron tayo ditong system of blocks na interconnected with pulleys. So sabi dito, what weight W is necessary to start the system of the blocks shown in the figure moving towards right? The coefficient of friction is 0.10 and the pulleys are assumed to be frictionless. So based po doon no, sa problem natin, sinabi na frictionless yung pulley natin. So kung gusto, and then kapag ano naman po no, doon sa pulley natin, kung ano yung force na nararamdaman ng isang portion natin, is yun yung force na nararamdaman ng kabilang segment natin. So therefore, pwede natin i-disregard ngayon ito, no, itong portion na to nung pulley natin. Itong dalawang blocks na lang yung i-consider natin. Ngayon, kung gusto natin mag-move towards right yan, ang direction dapat ng force na dito na humahatak sa kanya is going up or going right. Kaya lang, ano yung magnitude nito? So again, no, W, force or weight W nararamdaman dito. So therefore, ito ay W din. Then next is, drawing muna natin yung free body diagram. Dito sa block na naka-flat dun sa surface natin, walang problema. Vertically lang siya, no? Ito yung ating weight. Then, given tayo dito ng normal force natin. Then, since gusto, kapag ang movement na gusto natin is towards right, so magiging direction natin dito ay, ito ay going to the right direction. Then, di ba sabi dito, ang natural tendency ng friction natin no, is to stop yung motion or to resist yung motion natin. So, kung going right yung force natin dito, ito ay tawagin na lang natin na tension force natin, yung tension 1 natin. So, kung going right siya, so yung ating frictional force is to resist, ang direction niya is going to left direction. Ngayon, di ba naalala nyo yun dun sa example natin sa ano? Kapag nag-section tayo, kung tensile yung force natin, no, dapat tensile pa rin siya kapag i-consider natin yung kabilang portion. Kaya dito, ano yung magiging direction ng arrow key natin? Kasi di ba ano yung nararamdaman ng block natin? So, nararamdaman niya dito, no, ang magiging ano natin dito is kung tensile pa rin siya, ang magiging direction niya dito ay magkakaroon tayo ng force T or same force yan na magnitude, no? T1 pa rin siya na pababa naman. Then next is ito, meron tayong inclined na plane dito. So kailangan natin mag-rotate ng axis dyan. So drawing tayo ngayon ng Cartesian plane. So given tayo ng, originally meron tayo ditong force na weight na 40 kN. 40 yan. Then given tayo ng W na going right. Then given tayo ng, ito yung again, ito yung force W natin. Then given tayo ng tensile force na nagka-counteract dito sa weight natin. So ito yung ating T1. Then given tayo ng contact plane na 30 degrees angle. So ito po ay 30 degrees. Then alam natin na perpendicular yung perpendicular dapat yung normal force natin no doon sa ating contact plane. So ito yung ating normal force. So kung ito po ay 30 degrees, alam natin na perpendicular siya. So ito ay 60 degrees. Then ito ay, kung perpendicular line yan, alam natin na ito naman ay 30 degrees. So again, ito po yung weight natin, no? Ito yung weight nung block natin na 40 kN. So ngayon, ang goal natin is ma-rotate yung axis natin wherein yung normal force natin and then yung contact plane natin, no, siya yung magiging ating baagong X and Y axis. So before tayo mag-rotate ng axis, no guys, correction. Ito, yung tensile force 1 natin is nandito siya ngayon kasi 'di ba? Kung makikita nyo yung T1 natin is align na siya doon sa axis natin. So si tensile force 1 natin, no, is align na po doon sa ating contact plane. I mean, ganun din po, no, yung force na yung weight W na unknown natin. So therefore nandito yung T1 natin. Then nandito yung W natin. So mangyayari na lang po dito, no, is i-rotate na natin siya pag gusto natin na maging axis natin, no, dito is yung contact plane natin. So kapag magro-rotate tayo para maging ito yung x-axis natin, magro-rotate tayo ng 30 degrees clockwise. So mangyayari po, no, is bababa yung ano natin dito. Then yung normal force natin magiging aligned sa ating y-axis. Yung tensile force natin magiging aligned sa x-axis. Then itong force or yung weight ng block natin na W, which is yung 40 kN, is magkakaroon siya dito ng angle na 30 degrees. So magiging ganito po, no, yung free body diagram natin na final. So again, no, ito po yun doon sa ano natin. Then ang nalimutan lang natin is yung frictional force kanina. So again, kung ang tendency ito is to move up, so frictional force natin magiging direction nito ay pababa. Then para hindi po malito, labelan natin siya as normal force 2 and then frictional force 2. Ngayon po, no, kapag nag-solve tayo, magsisimula tayo dito sa initial or sa unang free body diagram natin. Ito yung block na nasa along the x-axis natin. Itong block na nagwe-weigh na 60 kN. So summation of forces vertical equals to 0. N1 minus 60 equals to 0. Therefore, yung normal force 1 natin is 60 kN. Then, solve for the frictional force 1. We have F1 is equals to mu or coefficient of friction multiplied by the normal force. F1 is equals to 6 kN. Kunin natin ngayon, no, yung T1 natin. Kung ano yung value ng tensile force natin. So, summation of force along x equals to 0. T1 minus F1 is equals to 0. Therefore, T1 is equal to F1, which is 6 kN. Proceed tayo, no, doon sa next free body diagram natin. We have summation of forces vertical equals to 0. Ang may vertical component na lang sa atin dito is ito, yung second thermal force, and then yung y component ng force na or yung weight ng block natin. So N2 minus 40 cosine 30 equals to 0. So bakit cosine yung ginamit natin? Nasaan ba yung y component niya? Ito yung y component kasi nung block natin. And anong side ito? So we have, ito ay yung adjacent side natin, and then given tayo na hypotenuse na 40. So given up an adjacent side and an hypotenuse side, ang gagamitin natin is cosine function. Kaya po siya naging cosine 30. So N2, so transpose lang natin to sa kabilang side ng equation natin. N2 is equals to 34.641 Newton. Then, solve na natin, no, yung friction force to natin using yung formula natin na F is equal to mu n. So, F equals mu n. So, substitute lang natin 0.10 times 34.641 Newton. Frictional force 2 is equals to 3.464 kilonewton. Then, summation of forces horizontal tayo. W, so positive siya kasi yung ano natin is going right siya. Minus yung x component naman nung force ano natin, no? Yung force natin, yung applied or yung weight nung block natin. So W minus 40 sine 30 minus T1. So bakit minus yung T1 natin? Kasi going left. Then minus F2 kasi pababa rin, no, Going left din yung direction ng frictional force natin equals to 0. Substitute lang natin yung value ng T1 and F2. So we have W minus 20 kilonewton minus 6 kilonewton minus 3.464 kilonewton. W is equals to 29.464 kilonewton. And dyan po nag-e-end no, yung discussion natin with regards sa frictional force natin.